Nobody believes in you. You've lost again and again and again. The lights are cut off, but you're still looking at your dream, reviewing it every day, and say to yourself, it's not over until I win.
People are always blaming their circumstances for what they are. I don't believe in circumstances. The people who get on in this world are the people who get up and look for the circumstances they want, and if they can't find them, make them.
Don't ever let somebody tell you you can't do something. Not even me. You got a dream, you got to protect it. People can't do something themselves. They want to tell you you can't do it. You want something, go get it. Period.
A real person, a real alpha, a real go-getter, they ain't saying shit about nobody.
Correct.
That's why you will never, ever hear me dropping somebody's name, running my mouth about somebody. I don't know what you went through. I don't know what you're going through. I didn't wear the shoes you wore when you were a kid. I didn't grow up in your up house. I didn't have your family. I don't know shit about you. So guess what I do? Shut the up. Because real men don't say shit. Because first of all, we're too busy trying to grind and be better.
Correct.
If you have to ask how to get motivated to go to the gym, you don't need to be going to the gym. You don't want it enough. When you're sick and tired of looking and feeling like shit, you'll show up, motherfucker. I'll see you there. Because you're going to look in the mirror and you're going to be like, that. You're going to want to be in the gym.
Don't judge your circumstances and the possibilities for your future based upon what you have now and because of what's going on now. No. That's not the real reality there. What you're going through, if you're going through some hard times, it has not come to stay, it has come to pass.
Fight. Fight that ticking clock with everything you got. So, like the end of a hard day, you can put your head down with ease, satisfied that you've given your best.
How bad do you want this? If it's as bad as you want to live or breathe or sleep, whatever the hell it may be, I can work with you. But a lot of people, most people don't want it that badly, which is why they always ask the question, man, how did you get to where you are? You know how to do it. You know exactly how to be you or how to be me. You don't want to do it. So I can't make you do it. And nor do I have the time or energy to force you into that place that I know you have to be to do it. There's no luck in this game, man. It may be a little bit of luck, but the luck happens after you bust your ass and you put yourself in that lucky situation. Luck doesn't happen. You put yourself in that situation where luck might happen. And that's what people don't know. But to get there, luck ain't gonna happen. You have to put yourself in that situation, man.
Everything you want in life is on the other side of fear. You got to get over there, man. You got to get, it ain't easy. You know, it's not easy to leave the city you grew up in, say goodbye to your family. It's not easy to walk in there and quit your job and take a chance on another job.
You have to know within yourself that I can do this. Even if no one else sees it for me, I must see it for myself. That's necessary. It's also, ladies and gentlemen, necessary that you be creative when you're working on your ideas, that you understand the importance of changing up, of readjusting your strategies. Many times we can have a great idea, but if you're not advancing it in the right way and things don't happen, you become discouraged and think the idea doesn't work. No, that's not true.
Most people think it can't be pulled off, and you're looking at weird angles, different things going on inside other than the fight and all this other stuff. But yeah, I'm doing it because it's awesome and it's challenging and it's hard. And I think that if anybody can do it right, it's us. So why not take that challenge?
We become what we think about. Now, it stands to reason that a person who's thinking about a concrete and worthwhile goal is going to reach it, because that's what he's thinking about. And we become what we think about. Conversely, the man who has no goal, who doesn't know where he's going, and whose thoughts must therefore be thoughts of confusion and anxiety and fear and worry, becomes what he thinks about. His life becomes one of frustration, fear, anxiety, and worry. And if he thinks about nothing, he becomes nothing.
That a lot of people think they have all this time, so they waste it, and they never go out and do what they really set out to do or accomplish or do anything great in their life.
You know, that 10,000 hours thing isn't wrong. It's just that's the minimum. What could you stand to do for 10,000 hours that won't feel like drudgery? What could you stand to do now for the next 10 years of your life that won't feel like, this again?
What is my reason? What am I trying to do? What would I like to do in the world? Now we get something valuable here. We all know that you got to have a purpose. You all got to have a reason. So if you feel yourself meandering down the path with no reason, no purpose, dig in and find one.
Yeah. But if you stay in your comfort zone, you will fail right there. If this is your comfort zone, that's where you're going to fail. The only way to succeed is you got to get outside of the comfort zone.
Once you figure out life is a risk, take risks. Calculate it. How do you do that? Where you are now, where do you want to be? Find someone who is where you want to be and ask them what they did. They're going to tell you they took risk. Whatever explanation they give you is, more often than not, I will argue 99.9%, 100% will be involved with taking risk, because especially as men, you're not going to get anything you want out of life without taking a risk, because you don't have it. So you have to do something to acquire it.
What do you want? And how hard are you willing to go after it and get it? Because at the end of the day, it will personally belong to you. So take liberty, take satisfaction in your goals. Go beyond the goals, as I always say. Don't just limit yourself to a goal, go beyond it. Because as long as you're still alive, as long as you're breathing, there's so much work to do. There's so much promise in you. There's so much truth to you. So get into yourself. Have a personal relationship with yourself. Find out exactly what you're truly capable of. And most importantly, don't try to copy what other people do. Don't try to be like somebody else. Be you.
The possibility mathematically of me losing now is rather small. Yeah. But when you're not doing these things, the reason you're living with so much fear is, the possibility of you not winning is rather great. Yeah. And so you're living with a fear that's self-imposed, self-induced, and your fault, because you're not willing to do the ugly. And I think that's why sometimes when I look back at those days, I have that same look you have. There's also an internal part of me that goes, man, I actually did those ugly things when I didn't want to, when I didn't have any desire to, and I wasn't sure it was going to work, but I was actually almost ensuring it was going to work based on the math part of it.
God has destined your life and your career to get to the ultimate blessings and the goals and where you're supposed to be. And because you got all this dead weight and you're operating over your capacity, it's going to take you that much longer to get there.
I remember I was playing a game with my 9-year-old son, John Leslie, and I beat him 10 straight games in a game called Connect 4. And finally, I said, John Leslie, I'm bored. I don't want to play you anymore. And I got up. I said, I'm ready to go to sleep now. And repeat after me, please. Let's say this together. It's not over until I win. John Leslie said, no, you can't go now, Dad. I said, why? He said, it's not over until I win. That was his attitude. We sat down and we played several other games. And finally, after the 11th game, John Leslie won, and he got up and he yawned. And he said, I'm ready to go to sleep now.
Takes guts. You got to dig down deep to gut it out. Keep on going again and again and again until you make it happen, because you know that it's possible.
Real men ain't doing it. Real men don't care about that gossipy bullshit. Get to work, man.
Right.
That's it.
To find out what you've kind of got a natural, that edge thing. Find out what you have a natural ability for. What's the thing that you do best? And again, I would remind people, it's not the best in the world, just better than anything else you do. Lean into that. Like, I'm all for following your dreams if your dreams are what you're best at. And the opinions of family and friends don't count. And And then it's a little bit, I suppose it's a bit tough love. It's that thing of going, look at what your inner critic says, okay? And it won't be wrong.
If you want better, you have to do more. You have to do better. If you knew better, you do better. Learning, reading, studying, questioning, paying attention to highly successful people. Let's take away the fact that they're going to have issues. When people talk about success, they always bring up, oh, they're not perfect. They have problems too. Everybody has problems too. There's nothing new under the sun. Let's focus. You know you want to be successful with your problems. You don't want to be broke with your problems. You want to be rich with your problems or well off.
Champions are never woken up and born into success. They're created, they're mature, they're struggled, then weathered through that effort of hard work and dedication and sacrifice to achieve that championship status. It's these moments, these decisions we make on a daily basis. Do we get up early and go for a run? Do we hit the snooze button? Do we go that extra rep in the gym? And our body's dying. Do we push past that? All these little things are the inches that add up to be the measure of difference between first place and forever forgotten. Second place. Huge margins. But if you look about your day and all these little moments of life, all these little opportunities are in your wheelhouse. You create them. And later in life, when you're crying because you came up short, stop being so selfish. Look back on your day, examine it, put it under a microscope, and have responsibility for your actions. Those inches you need to be number one then, which is now in the past, are around us every single day. It's not a bad break. It's not the ref making a bad call. It's that you get up that day and do those little tiny things, the little details, the little nuggets of life. That's what adds up to be the difference.
He is revealing to you over and over and over and over again that you are talented, you are beautiful, you are special, you are an individual. Where God has destined your life and your career to be and go, you cannot get there with all of the people that you showed up with. I'll say it again. Where God has destined your life, career to go, not in his plan to reach the level that you're trying to reach with the people that you showed up with. And normally when you find yourself cutting off dead weight because your boat is at its capacity, if the boat is at 1,500 and because you're loyal, you have your boat now at 4,000 pounds in capacity, you are now on a boat that has blessings and opportunities, but it's overweight. It's past its capacity.
No matter how bad it is or how bad it gets, I'm going to make it.
Our doubts are traitors and make us lose the good we oft might win by fearing to attempt.
You gotta change. You gotta take a chance. You can't stay there and play it the way it is. If you keep doing what you've been doing, you're gonna keep getting what you've been getting. You got to do something else, man. And that's the way it works, man. And it's hard, I know, because I've had to make a lot of changes in my life, and it's hard.
The movie that changed the whole trajectory of my life was Vision Quest.
Is that the Pele speech?
Pele, yeah.
You ever hear of Pele? Yeah, he's a soccer player.
Very famous soccer player. There's a room here one day. I'm watching a Mexican channel on TV. I'm watching what this guy can do with a ball on his feet. Next thing I know, he jumps up in the air and flips into a somersault and kicks the ball in upside down and backwards. The goddamn goalie never knew what the hit him. Pele gets excited and he rips off his jersey and starts running around the stadium, waving it around over his head. Everybody's screaming in Spanish. I'm here sitting all alone in my room. I start crying. Yeah, that's right, I start crying. Because another human being, a species which I happen to belong to, kick a ball, lift himself. The rest of us sat as human beings up to a better place to be, if only for a minute.
Which means that if God has destined your life to get from here to where it's destined to be, you're carrying dead weight over its capacity. Your boat is either going to sink and crash and burn.
Sadness comes from the perceived lack of options. That's why it feels like hopelessness. You don't know what to do. That's why you feel sad. And you can solve that with knowledge, right? Because sadness is actually an ignorance issue. You just don't know. So if you did know what to do, then you wouldn't be sad anymore because you know what action to take. Anxiety is the opposite of that, which is you have many options in front of you, but you don't know which to take, which is a lack of priorities. And you solve that with a decision. And so usually you have lots of decisions that you haven't made, and then that's why you have anxiety. And so you need to confront the decisions you need to make.
If you're psychologically pushing yourself to the limits quite often, you can rest assured you're probably working hard enough. If you've been used to some shit for months and you're wondering why it's not growing you, why the fuck would it grow you? The body generally likes to resist being changed in many ways because in our evolved ancestral environment, we're very resource constrained.